And welcome back to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. We've had just a fascinating hour with my dear guest, Hope Fitzgerald. So Hope, all these experiences, the workshops that you did, that all started around 2010, 2011. It's now 2017. What's happened since then?
Well, at the end, yes, I'll try to be as fast as I can. At the end of 2011, I had a remarkable meeting just by chance with a woman who is very well known in, I don't know if you know about the telesummit world, and this is a call-in or internet show where you interview people. Right. And it happened to be a woman named Jennifer McLean who had a show called Healing with the Masters. And I didn't know telesummits. I never heard of them, and I hadn't heard of Jennifer, but I met her. She said she wanted to work with me. I said, sure, not knowing what that meant. For about a month, I didn't look at her card, and then I went back, and then I saw Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer on her show, and I was like, what is this? Well, long story short, she produced my CDs and MP3s of my practices. What I didn't mention is that I play crystal bowls along with the practices. I dowse for which bowl wants to sing with each practice. And I view the bowls as living beings as well. So we're all working together in this thing. And so I got launched to the world. Now, they had told me that this was meant for a wide audience, and here I am living next to a sheep farm in Great Barrington. And, I'm thinking, how wide are you talking, like to Pittsfield? Or that's, but no, they said to the world, and I had no idea how that was going to happen. So it happened with Jennifer, and then many shows after that. So I have continued in my work. I have continued to develop new practices. I did a second set with her a couple of years later. I have taken this into death doula work.
Wonderful.
I also take people around the world to very powerful places. South Africa, Southwestern France, England, Ireland, Peru. I'm taking a group to Peru in September.
In September? I have to tell you, I know about 6 people taking groups to Peru, in the next 6 months. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a very incredible place. And the thing is that how we can use the infinity wave, we started to talk about that.
Right.
It's really a communication device.
Okay.
You, first and foremost, I believe that every single person can go direct to source, spirit,
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
The infinity wave is a communicator for that. So if you imagine yourself sort of in the apex of it, in the central part, you run the wave down into the earth, you run the wave over your head, and you open to this direct communication. That's one way to use it. You can use it interpersonally. It's heart to heart, and you can do it with the other person being conscious and doing it with you, but you can also do it quietly and silently, which I love. So,
and it's interesting because I have heard of other people talk about sort of the give and take of energy and imagining this infinity sign between you and another person with you're communicating, though this kind of adds that dimension of water in the visualization, which is different.
Well, yes, it adds the love and compassion at a 10th dimensional level. So, what you quoted in the beginning was about, what you tend to, where you're resonating is what you're seeing, what's being fed back to you, and also the struggle, and releasing yourself from stories of struggle into moving forward. So, just the act of noticing, I see this is what I'm perceiving on the street today. I'm seeing things that are negative. Stopping, running yourself in a wave of love and compassion, which again, you don't have to manufacture the love and compassion. Every act that you do of that lifts you up in your spiritual evolution, and it changes your vibration. Because if you're giving yourself, first and foremost, a bath of love and compassion, okay, that changes all your molecules.
Right.
You know about how the quality of the water you drink affects your cells.
Oh, yes.
I only drink structured water.
Oh, okay.
And because I want enlivened water enlivening my cells. And the water in the infinity wave is there for a reason. So just think of the fact that when we run this watery infinity between us, we're actually saying the water in you is now connected to the water in me with this high quality love and compassion. How could we not have a great conversation? Right?
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
And, I don't ask anybody to believe this hook, line, and sinker.
Right,
I say, look,
just try it.
Play with it. Have fun.
Right.
Do it with the checkout person.
Yeah,
do it with the cab driver. Do it with your beloved other. Do it with your animal. Do it with the rocks, the trees, the plants. Do it with the sun. It's powerful with the sun.
Oh, I bet. And the moon.
And the moon. So.
And the earth.
Yeah, and the earth. Absolutely, the earth. Oh, yes. It's powerful.
Right. So I mean, basically, I just want to recap and to make it very simple for our audience to just try and play with it a little bit. I mean, essentially what you're saying is you're sort of, in your imagination, imagining this figure 8 infinity sign made of water. And you pretty much can use it for anything. You can make it the size of a cell. You can make it the size of a galaxy. And you can just imagine it between you and another person, between you and another object, or yourself in the middle, maybe between 3 objects. I mean, you can kind of just use it for anything.
That's right. And it's very simple.
Right.
It's
love it.
Nonverbal.
I love simple things.
I know, right? But that's the only way that we could have an energy that could reach everybody.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no wrong or right way to do it. Remember, it's alive. So if you invite the infinity wave to dance in your life, it'll show up in the way that it wants to be used.
Okay.
You don't have to work so hard. So you actually kind of take a back step from all this intentioning, because a lot of times when you're working with the wave, it knows the highest and best. I have a great story, which I don't think we have time for, but I did witness, and there was somebody else in the room who witnessed a 180 that a person did. Went from being frozen in a box, non-communicating, to warm and bubbly and in a nanosecond, once I sent her a wave blast, and it wasn't me saying, I wish you'd be more friendly.
Right.
I just went, I don't like this picture. I want a different one. And out comes this wave. I didn't even control that. That's what was asked for. And the person went, boom, and shifted.
Right.
It was mind-boggling.
Wow.
And that's when I realized this is so powerful.
I see.
This is so powerful.
What has been the biggest lesson for you in all of this?
Oh, my gosh.
In the exposure to this?
Trust. Trust and faith. Trusting that we are co-creators. I'm not doing any of this by myself. I could not do this by myself, and I would not do this by myself. I work with my guide team, with the earth, with all the elements. I work with everything, and that's what we're here to do, to create a heaven on earth.
And over the years that you've been working with it, has it evolved, or is it just your understanding has evolved?
Yes.
And is it continuing to evolve?
Yeah, well, the wave itself, the only way that I can say that I've noticed it evolving is that it's more powerful now.
Okay.
So in 2011, they said, okay, the wave is going to be, this push is going to be coming in over the course of the year.
Right.
And I have to say, I looked, because I understand the collective unconscious, I looked in every rock store, crystal shop, co-op.
Right.
I looked for the figure 8 because I knew that it couldn't just be my own thing.
Right.
I saw nothing. 2012, January, somebody serves me a cappuccino with that shape in the foam.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I'm like, well, then I saw it on the sidewalk. Somebody spray painted it. That starts showing up in packaging. It starts showing up in jewelry. And it is now the #1 tattoo for women.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, it got real in 2012, and it's been building ever since because and we can look back and say, wow, life sure has gotten faster.
Yes.
Things have certainly been shaking up since 2012.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to stop.
Right.
And so how we rise to all of these issues, struggles, etc., and now we have a tool to do that with.
Right.
We can say, okay, this looks like a bumpy road.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in flow. I'm going to choose this love and compassion for myself, for others, for the whole 9 yards, for the earth, for the whole journey. Yeah. We all chose to be here now for a reason.
Right. Exactly.
How does that show up? And trusting those inclinations. This is why I use dowsing, and I recommend others to do the same thing.
Wonderful.
To learn to work with your tool.
Wonderful. Excellent. Excellent. So if people want to learn more about this infinity wave and about this practice, where can they go?
Well, my website is www.we-infinity.com.
We-infinity.com.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And they can find everything there, how to contact you and sessions and workshops. Any events coming up? Any workshops coming up?
I have a workshop which still has some space left, first weekend of May in the beautiful Berkshires.
Ooh.
And then I have the trip to Peru in September. I'm going to be at the Dowsers Conference in June in Saratoga Springs, teaching there. And I'm doing a workshop at the Infinity Foundation outside of Chicago in June as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Hope, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming down and being
Sam,
here.
thank you. It's been a joy, really. Thank
you. Wonderful. And so just a quick announcement before we sign off. I want to remind our audience that today, April 27th, is the monthly meeting for the Conscious Business Collective. We are meeting tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. on 25th and Broadway. Please RSVP, and to get the address, go to our meetup group, which is meetup.com/conscious-biz-collective, and all the information is there. Please join the group, RSVP. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, if you are signed up for our newsletter, look at the bottom of the newsletter. The link to register is there. Thank you all for tuning in today. Next week, I've got another amazing woman coming in. Rachel Harris, author of the book Listening to Ayahuasca. This woman is a therapist who has done like 7 years of research of ayahuasca usage in North America. Very extensive, wonderful book. We're going to have an amazing conversation next week. I hope you can join us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.